Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for Politics Tonight, live from Reno, Nevada. I'm your host, Jose Magallenes. Our topic today is the Senate race between Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid and his Tea Party-backed opponent, Sharron Angle. Many consider this Senate seat to be a complete toss-up. The Democratic Party is pulling out all stops to ensure that their top legislator remains in office and avoid the embarrassment of losing their top legislative ally for President Obama. At a time when Congress is increasingly unpopular with the American public, many Nevada voters blame Senator Reid and President Obama for the high unemployment rate and sour economy. But Angle and Reid are in almost all respects ideological opposites. Some analysts believe that a moderate Republican would have easily defeated Harry Reid. But the addition of Sharron Angle has complicated the race for Republican strategists. Ms. Angle's views on government are far right of the centrist view. Ms. Angle has been forced to recant many of her previous statements, including wanting to privatize veterans' benefits and the elimination of the Department of Education and Medicare. The very policies she advocated in order to get the Tea Party backing are the same she must abandon in order to court moderate voters. Now we go to our analysts, Dirk Diggler and Chess Brockwell.
Before the GOP primary, Sharron was unknown throughout Nevada. However, she still led Reid by a lot in the head-to-head polls. In the GOP primary, negative ads caused her unfavorable ratings to increase. However, she still conquered two establishment Republicans who were much more well-known, mainly because she earned the endorsements of the Tea Party. She then received a big bounce in the poll, which unfortunately turned out to be short-lived. Since the middle of the summer, Angle and Reid have been neck and neck in the polls.
Well, anyone who knows anything about political science knows of the incumbency advantage. That is that 90% of the time the incumbent will win. With that being said, I think Harry Reid will take this.
Not so fast, my friend. 2010 is shaping to be unlike any other election year we've seen yet. Incumbents are dropping like flies across the nation. I'm calling this an incumbency disadvantage.
Well, Harry Reid has the entire Democratic establishment behind him, so he'll pretty much have an endless supply of money flowing his way.
Yes, but another world political science says that the more money you spend as a incumbent on a campaign, the more likely you are to lose.
Yes, but they weren't ever facing a candidate as weak as Sharron Angle.
Moving on, we bring you highlights from the debate.
Mr. Reid, unemployment in Nevada is highest in the nation at 14.4%. How could you let this happen?
You know, passing healthcare reform was a monumental step forward for this country, and I got it done where many politicians before me failed.
Okay. Do you have any plans for creating jobs?
Yes, I do. My plan to create thousands of jobs for the hardworking people in Nevada is to do whatever it is that he tells me to do.
Who is he?
You know, him, the guy in charge.
Are you talking about President Barack Obama?
Yes, him.
Ms. Angle, what is your plan for creating jobs?
My plan is the total opposite of Harry Reid. It includes stopping out-of-control spending, less regulation, repealing Obamacare, tax cuts.
Right. Ms. Angle, what is your response to the claim that you completely rewrote your website after you won the Republican Party to take out your controversial positions?
Those claims are untrue. My campaign manager did do spell check, and you know these things, they have some minor changes.
In closing, please tell us why you believe Nevadans should vote for you.
I'm not Sharron Angle.
I'm not Harry Reid.
Anything to add? Okay.
It is clear that the people of Nevada have an extremely difficult choice on their hands, as the two candidates are extremes on both ends of the spectrum. This will likely be the closest race in the nation, and barring a major gaffe on either side, will come down to a percentage point or two. In a challenger's campaign, they need to do two things. First, convince voters to fire an incumbent. Secondly, convince them that they are the solution to the problems. Sharron Angle has convinced Nevada of the first one, but is having trouble with the second one. It is interesting to note that since 1912, the Nevada voters have voted for the winner of the presidential election, with a single exception being 1972. In a year unsympathetic to Democratic candidates, we give the race to Sharon Angle. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to vote.
Oh, you still taking?
Are our political experts Chess Rockwell and Dirk Diggler.
Sounds sexy. Are you laughing? 2010 is shaping to be unlike any other election year. The incumbents are dropping like flies across the nation. The voters are eager to throw their buns out. Yes.
Well, let's just see if anybody votes for that crazy broad.
Is someone not going to ask
Okay,
me a
yeah,
question first?
yeah.
Yeah, you can just ask it. I'll just cut out that.
That's good. Keep that.
Yeah, it's fine. No one said.
I'm not Sharon Angle.
Anything to add? Okay.